Hello, my dear friends. Today I'm talking about importance of the ascendant in traditional astrology. You know, I have been talking about what it means, traditional astrology, in another vlog previously. What is ascendant or rising sign? You know what it means. So I will go directly to the subject. In traditional astrology, the ascendant or rising sign is commonly referred to the mask of identity. This term signifies the outward personality and how people project themselves to others. The ascendant can be thought of as the first layer that people experience when they meet someone, dictating their initial impressions, how they dress, their mannerism, and their general approach to life. In modern astrology, often leans on the sun sign as a primary indicator of personality. Traditional astrology emphasizes the ascendant as the primary point of self-expression in the material world. For example, Aries ascendant person may come across as assertive, energetic, and eager to take action, even if their sun or moon is in a more passive sign like Pisces or Cancer. In this way, the ascendant modifies and influences how the inner planets, like the sun, moon, are expressed. The rising sign is like the outer shell, or filter through which the people expresses their deeper identity, represented by the sun, and their emotional world, represented by the moon. In traditional astrology, the ascendant holds a distinct and critical place, separate from the sun and moon. For example, a person with a Leo sun but a Virgo ascendant may be perceived as more reserved or analytical than what is typical associated with Leo fiery sign, with an extroverted nature. The Virgo ascendant might lead them to approach life with careful planning, a methodical attitude, and a tendency toward modesty, even through their inner essence, represented by the sun, craves attention and self-expression. The layering effect, how the sun, moon, and ascendant work together, creates a rich and nuanced understanding of a person's character in traditional astrology. The ascendant becomes the outer framework that holds these inner elements and shapes how they are expressed in the day-to-day reality of life. Another main important thing is the ruling planet of the ascendant that is known as the chart ruler. And here I'm talking about traditional ruler. The position, sign, house, and aspects of this planet significantly impact the overall life direction, challenges, and opportunities that a person will experience. The chart ruler carries enormous weight as it modifies the expression of the ascendant and shows where the person is likely to direct most of their energy. For example, if someone has an Aries ascendant, Mars will be their chart ruler. The placement of Mars, whether it's in a favorable house like the 10th house or a more challenging unlike the 12th house, will significantly impact the person's life. A Mars placed in a strong position, such as Aries or Capricorn, would bring strength and courage to the individual's overall approach to life. If Mars is in Cancer, it could indicate difficulties in asserting oneself, leading to frustration or passive-aggressive behavior. Another example, a person with Libra rising will have Venus as their real chart. If Venus is in Taurus, for example, in 8th house, the person might experience life themes revolving around deep emotional connections, shared resources, and transformative experiences through relationships. The placement of the ascendant ruler provides important information about the potential of the person in this life. Also, the ascendant is closely tied to the physical body and appearance. Ancient astrologers believed that the ascendant sign and its ruler will influence a person's body type, facial features, and general demeanor. This belief was based on the idea that each zodiac sign carries specific physical characteristics and the ascendant governs the vessel through which the soul experiences the material world. For example, people with Taurus ascendant are often described as having a strong body build with a tendency toward rounded features and a slower, deliberate movement style. On the other hand, a Gemini ascendant person might be slimmer, more agile, and have a quick, expressive way of speaking. Classical texts, like those of Vettius Valens and Dorotheus of Sidon, contain descriptions of physical traits associated with the ascendant sign, offering a fascinating look at how astrologers of the past correlated appearance with astrological placements. It's worth noting that while the ascendant influences appearance, other factors such as placement of planets in the first house and aspects to the ascendant modify these traits. In addition to governing physical appearance, the ascendant is also closely tied to health and vitality in traditional astrology. The condition of the ascendant, its ruler, and planets that aspect it can indicate the overall physical well-being of a person. While malefic planets such as Saturn or Mars are strongly connected to the ascendant, particularly through difficult aspects like squares or oppositions, it can signal health challenges or a reduced life force. For example, if Saturn is conjunct the ascendant, the person may have a more fragile constitution or face chronic health issues. This aspect could indicate a melancholic temperament, a tendency towards stiffness or coldness in the body, or a more serious stoic personality. A benefic planet like Jupiter or Venus aspecting the ascendant often indicates robust health, a positive disposition, and general good fortune in physical matters. In medical astrology, an ascendant and its ruler are carefully analyzed to understand the native's overall vitality. Classical texts overuse the condition of the ascendant to diagnose potential health issues that recommend remedies or preventives often tied to the planetary influences observed in the chart. The ascendant not only represents the individual self, but also determines the layout of the entire chart, especially how the 12 houses are arranged. The ascendant marks the beginning of the first house, which governs the physical body, identity, and outward behavior. The placement of the ascendant dictates the house cusps and thus influences how each area of life is expressed. For instance, someone with the Aquarius ascendant will have Aquarius in the first house, Pisces in the second house, and so on. The ascendant acts as a pivot for the entire chart, with the sign and degree that rises over the eastern horizon, and the time of the birth determine the starting point for the chart's house structure. One of the most significant debates in traditional astrology revolves around the use of different house systems. In Hellenistic astrology that I am practicing, the world sign house system was predominantly used, and also I am using for more than 12 years. In this system, the entire zodiac sign that rises on the ascendant becomes the first house, regardless of the degree. The rest of the chart following accordingly, with each zodiac sign governing a whole house, irrespective of the degree at the house cusp. For example, if Gemini is on the ascendant at 5 degrees, the whole sign system would assign the entire sign of Gemini to the first house. So it's very clear, first house is in Gemini, nothing else. Cancer in the second house, Leo in the third house, and so on. This method contrasts with other systems like Placidus, which divides the chart based on the time it takes for each segment of the ecliptic to rise over the horizon. Placidus and similar systems use an equal house sizes depending on the latitude and time of birth, creating houses that do not align with all zodiac signs. In traditional astrology, especially in Hellenistic and medieval practices, the whole sign system is often preferred because it offers clarity in interpreting the areas of life. The ascendant, as the first house, has a direct connection to the self, and the whole sign system ensures that each house aligns perfectly with the zodiac sign, preserving the natural flow of planetary dignity and rulership. In astrology, the angular houses, the first, the fourth, the seventh, and the 10th, are considered the most powerful and influential houses in the chart. The ascendant is particularly vital because it is the point where the zodiac sign rises over the horizon at the birth. This house symbolizes selfhood, personal identity, and physical appearance. In traditional astrology, the ascendant is often seen as a key indicator of a person's fate. Many ancient astrologers, including Ptolemy and Firmicus Maternus, viewed the ascendant as the starting point of life's journey, with its ruler and condition determining the native experiences. However, traditional astrology also acknowledges the balance between fate and free will. While the ascendant and its ruler may indicate certain preordained circumstances, and the individual still has the ability to work with the planetary angles. So, what kind of astrology are you using? Traditional, modern? What kind of house system are you using? I'm awaiting your comments and questions down below. Until next time, all the best.